Good evening, guys. In the last session, we discussed about procedure. So procedure, nothing but a program which contains set of SQL statements to perform one or more operations. If we write the logic in the Java, then our Java program should communicate with the database several times, which will reduce performance of our application. So to overcome that problem, we are going to use procedure. Procedure we can create like this. This is the syntax to create the procedure. Whenever we create a procedure, procedure can have three types of parameters. One is in parameter, second one is out parameter, and the third one is in out parameter. In represents input for the procedure, out represents output for the procedure, in out represents both input and output for the procedure. In our last session before holidays, we created one procedure in the database and we called that procedure by using our Java program. So in order to call the procedure by using Java, we are going for callable statement. So in the JDBC, we have three types of statements. One is a normal statement, second one is prepared statement, and the third one is a callable statement. By using statement, we can execute both select queries as well as non-select queries. Statement is used to execute the queries which are static. Okay, similarly, we have prepared statement. By using prepared statement, we can execute both select queries as well as non-select queries. Whereas prepared statement will support for positional parameters. That means we can supply the values dynamically for the query by using prepared statement. And the third one is callable statement. Callable statement is used to execute the procedures within the database. Now, what is a procedure? Procedure contains set of SQL statements to perform one or more operations. When we have a procedure with logic in the database, our Java application will communicate with the database only one time to execute the procedure. So procedure will execute at the database, will give the result back to the Java. So Java application will communicate with the database only one time. So it will improve performance of the application. So this is our last class example. We have a procedure with a name called get books data. So this is our procedure. Create procedure, procedure name, begin. This is my logic in the procedure. Select start from books and end the procedure. Begin and end. In between, we are writing the body for the procedure. So this is the name of the procedure. We can call that procedure by using call keyword. Okay, so in the Java, in order to execute the procedure, we are using callable statement. So once we get the connection, using that connection, we are getting the callable statement object. Using the callable statement object, we are telling to call the procedure. This procedure is not taking any parameter. There is no input parameter. There is no output parameter. A simple procedure we created in the database, and we are calling that procedure normally. And we are calling that procedure from the Java also. Okay, now I want to write one more procedure which will take input parameter. I want to create a procedure with the input parameter. That means we have a database, select star from books. We have a table in the database, select star from books table. Okay, so now there are several books available. I will give one book ID. I want to get that book record. Okay, for that I want to write a procedure. Now let us see how can we write a procedure which will take input parameter. So in the last session, we created a procedure which does not take any input. It is just going to execute the procedure and will give the result. Now I want to write a procedure which will take the input and give the result. Okay, so let us see how to write a procedure which will take the in parameter. Procedure with the input parameter. Observe carefully how I am going to write it. Procedure with the in parameter. So my procedure will expect a input, right? Now earlier, whatever the procedure we created, this procedure is not expecting any input. It is just a normal procedure without in and without out. Now procedure with the in parameter. how to write a procedure with the in parameter. So let us see here. Here, I'm going to start this procedure with the delimiter. That is the start point of my procedure. Delimiter dollar. Then create a procedure with procedure name. Create procedure. My procedure name I am writing as get book by ID. I'm going to take ID as a input parameter. Get book by ID. So that ID is the input in book ID, right? Book ID as a int. So book ID is my parameter. You can keep anything, BID. It is a input parameter. BID is the name of the parameter. Int is the data type of the parameter. Create procedure get book by ID in type. That means it is an input parameter. BID is the parameter name. Int is the data type of the procedure. Okay. Now here I have created a procedure which is taking input. Then write the business logic. Begin. Select star from books where book underscore ID is equal to BID. Book underscore ID is equal to BID. So whatever the input parameter we are passing for the procedure, that input parameter we need to give to that query. We need to give to that query. We need to give to that query. That's it. Okay. Create procedure get book by ID. In type parameter I'm passing for the procedure. Begin. Select star from books where book ID is equal to BID. Then end it. Okay. Earlier we executed a query select star from books. What is the meaning of select star from books? It will retrieve all the books from the table. Right? That procedure not taking any input. But now I'm writing a procedure. It is something like a Java method, guys. Java method which is taking a input. Similarly, I'm writing a procedure. My procedure is taking a input. In parameter it is taking BID. That is the input parameter. You can take any name for the parameter. Input int type. So BID is the input for the procedure. Whoever want to execute this procedure, they need to pass book ID as the input. Select star from books where book underscore ID is equal to BID. So what it will do? It will retrieve the records from the table based on the given book ID in the where condition. This is my procedure. How to call this procedure? Call the procedure. Okay. We know that how to call the procedure. How to call the procedure? Call get book by ID. If you pass 101, it will retrieve the record whose ID is 101. If you give 102, it will retrieve the record whose ID is 102. Okay, let us create this procedure in the database. Let us create this procedure in the database. Okay, guys. Create procedure get book by ID in BID int begin. Select a star from books where book ID is equal to BID. End it. Now execute it. You have an error in the SQL. Begin select star. Syntax to use near at line number 3. Delimiter. Create procedure. Procedure name. Yeah. Now procedure got created. Okay, guys. This is our correct syntax to create the procedure. My procedure is created. I want to call that procedure. How to call that procedure? Get book by ID with 101. I'm passing as an input. Call the procedure. Now, when I call the procedure, can you see I'm getting the record whose ID is 101? Yes. If I go to 102, select this and retrieve the data. I'm getting the record whose ID is 102. Guys, can you tell me, are we able to create the procedure and call the procedure with the input parameter? Input parameter nothing but writing a procedure which is expecting some input from the user. So based on the given input, it will retrieve the record from the table. Select star from table where book ID is equal to given value. So now in the database, my procedure is created and I'm able to call the procedure. If I pass 102, it is giving me the React record. The book ID 102 belongs to React. Suppose if I give the book ID as 103 and if I execute, I'm getting the DevOps record. That means my procedure is created successfully and I'm able to call the procedure also from the database. Same thing can we do by using Java? Guys, same thing. Can we do by using Java? Can I call the procedure from the Java program now? Can I call that procedure from the Java program now? Come on, guys, please respond. You can unmute your mic now. I have given the option to unmute your mic. So are you guys able to understand what is the procedure I have written now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what is the difference between our previous procedure and today's procedure? Difference between previous procedure and today's procedure?
Previous procedure was without any input, and that
Yes.
was
Previous
yes.
procedure is not taking any
Taking
input.
any
It is
input.
something like a method without any input. So today's procedure is taking book ID as an input. So here IN represents input for the procedure. BID is the name of the parameter. Int is the data type of the parameter. BID is the input for the procedure. Whatever the input we are giving to the procedure, that input we are giving in the query as a where condition. Select start from books where book ID is equal to BID. So based on the given book ID, it is going to retrieve the record from the table. Now, are we able to call the procedure from the database? Whatever the procedure we have created, are we able to call the procedure from the database or not? Yes, we are able to call the procedure from the database. Same thing, can we do by using Java? Can we do the same thing by using Java, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how to call a procedure by using Java? Can you guys tell me that?
Callable statement.
Yes, we need to go for callable statement. What is the difference between statement and callable statement? What is the difference between statement and callable statement?
It's fast dynamic value.
What is the difference between statement and callable statement?
Statement is for select, non-select queries. Callable statement is for procedures.
Correct. Statement is used to execute only select queries and non-select queries. Whereas callable statement is used to execute the procedure. What is a procedure, guys?
Procedure is a function.
Procedure is used to execute set of SQL queries to perform one or more operations. All right. Now, so here procedure call example is available. Let me copy this code. Procedure call in param, procedure in param, procedure in param example. Okay, very good. So this is my database URL, database username, database password, my procedure. So what is the name of the procedure? Get book by ID. Get book by ID. Can I say that my procedure is having one parameter, guys? Can we say that parameter is a dynamic value? Are we going to pass always the book ID as a 101 or it is a dynamic value?
Dynamic value.
It is a dynamic value. So how to represent the dynamic value? Dynamic value we can represent by using positional parameter. All right. So call get book by ID. For this procedure name, I'm passing for this procedure, I'm passing one positional parameter because when I create a procedure in the database, I have taken a in parameter. Now here I'm writing call my procedure, which is expecting one input parameter. Okay, we already know this logic. Driver manager at get connection, it will give the connection object. Once we get the connection, prepare a callable statement. Once we get the callable statement, we need to execute that procedure. Before going to execute it, we need to set the value for positional parameter. Okay, do you know how to set the value for positional parameter? Come on, guys. Do you know how to set the value for positional parameter?
Yes, sir.
Let's read that value by using keyboard. Scanner S is equal to new scanner of system.in. I'm reading book ID from the keyboard. Okay. Yeah. Import the scanner class. System.out.println. Enter book ID. Enter book ID. Okay. Now how to read that value? Int book ID is equal to s dot next int. So okay, we got the book ID. So do you know how to set the value for positional parameter? Guys, prepared statement will take the positional parameter and our procedure also can take the positional parameter. How to set the value for this callable statement?
Yes, sir.
Positional parameter. Can you tell me that?
CSTMT dot.
Yes, very good. CSTMT dot set
set.
int. What is the index? Yeah, how many positional parameters available?
One.
Only one. So
Only
index
one,
is
yeah.
the one. What is the input for that? Can we
Book
take book ID?
Book ID. Yeah.
Yes, book ID is the value for that
Yeah.
positional parameter. So the only difference between our last example and this example is, in the last example, we called the procedure which is not expecting anything. So
Yeah.
directly we created the callable statement and we called execute query method. But today our procedure is expecting a input. So now my procedure is expecting an input. That input I am representing by using positional parameter.
Positional parameter.
Yeah, before calling that procedure, I need to set the value for the positional parameter. I'm setting the value for the positional parameter and I'm trying to call that procedure. So right click, run as Java application. Try to execute it, enter book ID 101. 101 or 1. I'm giving the book ID as 1. Now let us see. Yeah, it is terminated. So book ID 1, there is no record. Why there is no record? Select star from books. I think IDs are starting from 100.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 101, 102 is there. Okay. Okay, let me run this once again. Run as Java application. Enter book ID. I'm giving the ID as a 101. So when I give the ID as a 101, let us see what will happen. Which record we are getting?
Angular.
When we give the record as 101, we are getting the ID as a Angular record we are
Angular.
getting. Yeah, similarly, let me run the same program again. Book ID, I'm giving 103. When I give the ID as 103, are we getting the DevOps record? Yes, because 103 record is belongs to DevOps, 101 record belongs to Angular. So are we able to execute a procedure which is taking input parameter? Guys, are you clear? Able to execute a procedure which is expecting input parameter. Enter book ID.
Yes.
I will give ID as 104. If I give ID as a 104, I'm getting the record as AWS. 104 record is belongs to AWS, right? AWS record we are able to retrieve. So that means, can we say that we are able to execute a procedure which is taking input parameter also?
Yes, sir.
Come on, guys. Yeah,
Yes,
we
sir.
are able to create a procedure. That procedure is taking an input parameter. So this is the syntax to create the procedure. Once the procedure is created, you can call the procedure by using the call keyword like this. And by using Java program also, we can call the procedure. When we are calling the procedure by using Java program, we are going to use callable statement. So call procedure name. If a procedure is not taking any input, then directly you can specify the parenthesis like this. If the procedure is taking an input parameter, we need to give the positional parameter. For that positional parameter, we need to set the value before executing that procedure. Are you clear? Second example with procedure.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we are clear with our second example by using procedure. Now, our third example by using procedure. Procedure with the in and out parameters. Okay, a procedure can take in parameter, a procedure can take out parameter, a procedure can take in out parameter. Yeah, in means only input, out means only output. In out means one variable, it can use for both input as well as output. Are you guys clear?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
in out we can take. Right now, let me go for a procedure. Let me go for a procedure. I'm going to write the procedure which will give me the names of the books whose price is less than given price. Okay, I want to identify the books. Which are having the price less than given price. Or else I want to retrieve the records. I want to retrieve the name of the book based on the given ID. So as of now, what we are doing, we are retrieving all the columns from the table. We are retrieving all the columns from the table, right? I want to retrieve only name of the book based on the given ID, or I want to retrieve the only price of the book based on the given ID. I want to do like that. Okay, so now let me write a procedure with in and out parameters. Procedure with in and out parameters. I want to pass a input for the procedure and I want to take output from the procedure. I want to pass input for the procedure. I want to pass input for the procedure and I want to take output also from the procedure. So how to write a procedure with both in and out parameters? Okay, let us see this. Right, guys. Create procedure, get book name by price. I want to get the name of the books based on the given price, only name, not all the records. So earlier what we have done, select star we have done. In the procedure we have taken select star. I don't want to go for select star now. Okay, I want to retrieve only names. I want to retrieve only names of the records based on the given price. Okay, create procedure, get book name by price. Here two parameters, in book price I am passing, int input. Next one, out book name, that is a varchar. Okay, so if you observe now, there are two parameters available. One is b price parameter, another one is b name parameter. B price is a in parameter, b name is a out parameter. There are two parameters available for my procedure. We can also call like method with two parameters. We can write a method with two parameters, right? Similarly here, I'm writing a procedure with two parameters. One parameter we are considering as a in parameter, another parameter we are considering as a out parameter. So create procedure, get book name by price, in price, out name. That means I will give price as a input. I want the names as a output. Begin, select book name into b name. What is b name? B name is my out parameter. Select the book name into b name. That means my procedure should retrieve the book names based on the price. Those book names it has to store into my out variable. Select book name as b name or into b name. Anything we can write. Select book name as b name. From books where book underscore price is equal to b price, less than or equal to b price. I will give some price as an input. You need to identify the books which are having the price less than given price. From those books, give me only name. I don't want ID. Earlier, it is retrieving everything. Earlier, when I call a procedure, it is retrieving everything, right? You see? So whenever I call get book by ID, it is giving me ID, name, and price. If I have 20 columns in the table, all the 20 columns data we are going to get. But now I am not interested to do like that. I just want to get the name of the books which are having the price less than given price. Okay, select book name as b name. B name is out parameter which will represent some output from the procedure. In represents input for the procedure. B price is the input for the procedure. B name is output from the procedure. Select the book name as b name from books where book price less than or equal to b price, given value. Okay, and the procedure. That's it. That is my logic. Okay, create procedure, get book name by price, in b price, out b name, begin, select book name as B name from books where book price less than or equal to given price. Okay, let me execute this procedure. Let me create this procedure in the database. Yeah, this procedure got created in the database. Now, how to call this procedure? How many parameters available? 2 parameters available. One is the price, another one is name. Price is in parameter, name is out parameter. Okay, get book name by price. Call get book name by price. Price, let me give it as 2000, comma, out parameter. What is out parameter? B name. Okay, so 2000 is in parameter, book name is out parameter. Execute it, Angular. So there is only one book whose the price is less than 2000. Okay, that book name is Angular. Suppose if I give it as 5000, execute. Now see, there are so many records are there whose prices are less than or equal to 5000. Angular, React, AWS, Hadoop. All these books prices are less than 5000. So like this, we can call the procedure. Remember, whenever we are calling a procedure, you need to identify what parameters that procedure is expecting. So whenever we are calling a procedure, we need to identify what parameters that procedure is expecting. If the procedure is expecting in parameter, you need to supply the value for the input. If the procedure is expecting out parameter, you need to pass the name of that out parameter so that it will retrieve the data and will return the data from the out parameter. Okay, so now this is the syntax to call the procedure from the database. Call the procedure. Syntax to call above procedure using workbench. Okay, so that is the syntax to call the procedure using workbench. Guys, clearly observe how we created this procedure. So this is our third example on the procedure. So our first procedure was not taking anything. It is a simple, very simple procedure which is not taking anything. So directly we are able to call the procedure like that. Okay, now second example, we are able to write procedure with the in parameter. So delimiter, create procedure with the in parameter. Select star. I'm retrieving all the columns. Now this is the example for that. Okay, third one, procedure with the in and out parameters. So my procedure is taking price as the input. My procedure is giving name as output. So what is the logic we are writing? Select a book name as B name from the books where book price less than or equal to given price. Okay, and so in order to call the procedure, we are writing the logic like this. This is the input. First parameter is the input. This is second parameter. What is the second parameter? Output. B name, I'm just passing at the rate B name. This is called registering the out parameter in the procedure. Whenever our procedure is having some parameter, out parameter, we need to register that out parameter and we need to execute that procedure. Yes, we are able to execute a procedure which is taking both input and output parameters. All right, now same thing, how to execute that procedure from the Java. We understood how to execute that procedure. We understood how to execute that procedure from the database. Okay, we understood how to execute that procedure from the database. Now we need to understand how to execute that procedure from the Java, which is taking in parameter as well as out parameter. Now let me take procedure call in out params. In out param example. Okay, enter book price. Enter book price. Price will come in the double value, double book price, s dot next double. procedure. So how to call that procedure? How to call that procedure? How many parameters available for the procedure? 2 parameters. Okay, what is the name? Get to book name by price. First parameter, comma, second parameter. First parameter is the input, second parameter is a output. Okay. First parameter is input, second parameter is output. Enter book price. I'm asking the user to enter the price from the keyboard. So whatever the price we will get, that price we need to set to our procedure. Okay, now guys, how many parameters available for my procedure? For my procedure, how many parameters available? Can you guys tell me that? Can you guys tell me that how many parameters available for the procedure? There are 2 parameters available for the procedure. One is in parameter and the second one is out parameter. One is in parameter and the second one is out parameter. Got it? So whenever the procedure is having input parameter, we need to supply the value for the input parameter. Whenever the procedure is having out parameter, when we are calling that from the database, we need to specify the parameter. Sir, is that @ mandatory? Just can I give the B name? No. Unknown column B name field set. Whenever we are calling from the database, that is mandatory to give @ symbol. Otherwise, the procedure is not getting executed. Understood? Can I execute the procedure just by giving some ABC here? Is it accepting that? No. If I give it @ABC, it is working. Here you can give anything, but you need to represent that with the @ symbol. If you give as a @ symbol, then it will understand that it is a output parameter to store the procedure output value. Sir, can I give @A? Yes, you can give anything. You can give anything. If you give @anything, that represents as a output parameter. Whatever the value is giving by the procedure, that value will be stored into that output variable. Understood? Yes. So I'm giving the meaningful name, book name. So we are getting the book name from the procedure, right? So we are getting more than one book record, more than one book name. @B name. 5000 is in parameter, @B name is a out parameter to store the output value. Now I want to call that procedure by using our Java program. Okay, so this is my username, this is my password, procedure, call procedure name, which is expecting 2 inputs, 2 positional parameters. First positional parameter is representing input value, second positional parameter is representing output value. First positional parameter is representing input value, second positional parameter representing output value. First one is representing input, second one is representing output. Okay, now how to execute this procedure? How to execute this procedure? Okay guys, so let us see here. So username, password, and our database driver class is also available. This is our procedure call, procedure name. Scanner class object I have created. I'm taking the book price from the scanner. Now I'm taking the connection from the database. Connection con is equal to driver manager.get connection. Based on the URL, username, and password, I'm getting the connection object. Once we get the connection, I'm trying to prepare callable statement using my procedure name. My procedure is having 2 parameters. One is in parameter, another one is out parameter. Okay, let me go for in parameter and out parameter. Callable statement dot set double. Set double. First one is the book price. I'm giving book price as a input for first parameter. First parameter is book price. First parameter is book price. Callable statement dot set double 1 comma book price. Okay. Now what about second parameter? Guys, second parameter is a in parameter or second parameter is a out parameter. For my procedure, first parameter is a price input. So I'm setting the input value. What about the second one? Second one is input or second one is output? Second one is input or second one is output? Second one is output. So we need to register that out parameter. We need to register that out parameter. How to register that out parameter? CSTMT dot register out parameter. CSTMT dot register out parameter. Index is 2. Type we need to specify. It is a varchar. It is a varchar type. The data that we are getting types java.sql dot varchar. Book names we are getting now. Name is a varchar type. So whenever your procedure is having an output parameter, you need to register that output parameter before calling. When the procedure is having an input parameter, we need to set the value for the procedure before calling. Now you understand how to set in parameter, how to register out parameter. For in parameter, you need to set the value directly. For out parameter, you need to inform to the Java that second parameter is a output parameter. First parameter is expecting some input value. Second parameter is a out parameter. We need to give the instruction to our Java program. We need to provide the instruction to our Java program. So once these parameters are specified for the procedure, then we can execute the procedure. How to execute? CSTMT dot execute query. CSTMT dot execute query. Okay. Now, whenever I execute that, I'm going to get the result set object. I'm going to get the result set object. We already discussed that result set object will maintain a cursor before the first record. We need to move the cursor. System.out.println rs dot get a string of 1. Okay. How many columns will come? When the procedure is executed, how many columns will come? Only one column will come. Only book name will come. Rows can be multiple, but a column can be only one. Column will be only one. Rows can be multiple. Okay. Yes, because with the 5,000, there can be multiple records whose prices are less than 5,000. So rows can be multiple, but a column will be only one. So that's why I'm writing rs.getString of 1. One column index. First row, first column. Second row, first column. Third row, first column. Fourth row, first column. Like that I want to get it. Can I write rs.getString of 2? No. Second column data is not there. Only one column is coming. So that column data we are printing. Okay. Let's execute it. Run as Java application. Enter book price. I'm giving the price as 5,000. Can you see the output? Are we able to get all the records, guys? Angular, React, AWS, Hadoop. Angular, React, AWS, Hadoop. 4 records. Are we able to get all the 4 records as output? When I give the price as 5,000, the books whose price is less than or equal to 5,000, are we able to get that? Are we able to get that? Suppose if I give you a different price, book price, I'm giving as 1,000. I'm giving the book price as 1,000, only Angular. So check in the database. If I'm giving 1,000, yes, perfect. Only Angular is coming. When I execute the procedure in the database with price as 1,000, I'm getting only Angular. And when I execute the procedure by using Java program with the price as 1,000, I'm getting only Angular. That means, can I say our Java program is able to execute the procedure which is having both the input and output parameter? Can I say that? Can I say that our procedure is executing as expected and our Java program is also working as expected? Yes, our Java program is also working as expected. One thing you need to remember, parameters. That procedure is expecting in parameter, out parameter. If the procedure is expecting in parameter, at which index that parameter is available, and you need to set the value based on the index. If it is having a out parameter, you need to register that out parameter before calling the procedure. Like this, you need to register that parameter. Okay. Yeah, procedure with the in parameter. Okay, this is in parameter. Call the procedure in workbench. Call the procedure in workbench. Now here also. Call the procedure in workbench. Call the procedure in workbench. Do you guys want to note down this program? Yeah, if you want, you can take this. This is the first one that we discussed today. Procedure with the in parameter. Procedure with the in parameter. I will upload these notes anyhow. If you want to note it down, you can take a screenshot and you can note it down. Guys, try to understand that logic. Completed? Yeah. So this is the logic to call the procedure, which is taking only input parameter. Done. So this is a procedure which is taking both input and output parameters. A procedure which is taking both input and output parameters. Price is input and book name is the output parameter. Based on the given price, it will identify the records whose price is less than or equal to given price. From those records, it will take only name, will store into out parameter. In parameter represents input for the procedure. Out parameter represents output from the procedure. This is the logic to call the procedure by using workbench. So whenever you are calling a procedure which is having out parameter, you need to register that out parameter. Then only you can execute that. Otherwise, you cannot execute that procedure. Otherwise, you cannot execute that procedure. Whenever you are calling a procedure from the Java, if the procedure is having a out parameter, we need to register that out parameter based on the index and a type also. In our scenario, price is input, name is output. Okay, price is at the first position, name is available at the second position. So here cstmt dot set double 1 comma book price, cstmt dot register out parameter 2 comma types dot varchar. Okay, so first I'm setting the value for input, then I'm registering out parameter at the second index, then I'm executing the procedure. Are you guys clear? This is a procedure which is taking input as well as output. Completed. Completed, guys. The thing is remembering this output parameter registration. That is the most important. When the procedure is having the output parameter, we need to register that output parameter. Perfect. So with this, we understood how to work with a procedure in the JDBC, how to call a procedure by using JDBC callable statement, how to supply value for input parameter, how to deal with a procedure which is having output parameter. That part we understood. Okay, next one. I have given assignment. Did you guys complete the 3 programs? Did you guys complete those 3 programs? I gave you assignment. Can anyone show me that code? Anyone can share the screen, can show me your assignment task completed? Gaurav, did you complete the task? I have given you 3 programs as assignment yesterday. Gaurav, did you completed that? Iqbal, did you complete?
So yesterday night I came, sir. I was in
Okay.
journey.
Okay, good. Anyone else? Jagadish, did you complete? Many people told that we have completed. Amit, can you share your screen? Yeah, Amit has done that. Let us see, guys. Amit, can you unmute your mic?
Yes, sir.
Amit,
Yes, sir.
yeah, Amit. So you completed all the 3 programs which I have
Yes,
given
sir.
yesterday.
Yes, sir. This is binary third program, sir. Binary
Okay.
data.
Mhm.
See, sir.
It is used to insert a record with the image.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first you have taken a file, the location of the
Okay.
file input stream, then insert into the person values, set binary stream, execute update. Okay. Can you run this and can you show me that? Go to first
Yes, sir.
database, show me the database.
My database.
I can see your IDE. Stop the screen share and share it again.
Okay, sir. ID.
No, man, you have shared only your IDE. You need to do one thing.
All screen, sir.
When you click on share screen, there is a whiteboard. Before
Yes, sir.
whiteboard, there is a screen option. You need to select that.
It's iPhone, iPad. Okay, sir.
Before whiteboard, एक screen option है
Yes,
ना?
sir. Yes, sir.
First
Yes,
one,
sir.
yeah,
Yes, yes.
उसको select करना पड़ेगा.
Yes. This is right, sir.
Okay. Can you open workbench?
This is my
Right.
workbench.
Yeah. Open that. Truncate your table. Truncate person table.
Yeah, this is a perceptual.
Truncate करो.
Person.
Select that query and execute it.
Yes.
First, select the database.
Use database.
Yeah. Select that query. Yes, truncate. Now select start from person.
Select star from person.
Yeah, no records available now.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Let's insert a record. Insert image.
So record inserted, sir.
Yeah, go to database.
Yes, sir. Here again.
Select.
Star. Okay, sir.
Perfect. Yes, your record is inserted. Guys, see here, when we are inserting ID, we will take data type as a int. When we are inserting the name, we'll take it as a varchar.
Okay,
When we are
sir.
going for image is a binary data. We need to take it as a blob data type. Right? Blob.
Yes, sir.
Binary large object.
Binary order.
Yes. Whenever we are dealing with PDF files, images, video files, audio files, the column data type should be blob. Column data type should be blob. Yes, right. Yeah, I understood. Amit, good job, man.
Yes, sir. This is third program, sir. This is second program.
Uh-huh.
How to get location Hyderabad and Pune, sir.
Yeah, okay. Location Hyderabad and Pune, you are using in clause.
Okay, sir.
In clause. Perfect.
This is join dates. How to find due date.
Yeah, between.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, good.
Thank you, sir.
Good job, Amit. Guys, see here. Now, I have given 3 assignments in our WhatsApp group, right? So did you guys check those assignments? Yesterday, I have given those 3 assignments. Okay. First one is insert image into database table. Second one, JDBC program to execute SQL query with in clause. Okay. Third one, JDBC program to execute JDBC program to retrieve employees who joined between given dates. Okay. So first one is inserting the image into database table. And the second one is execute a SQL query with the in class. Third one is JDBC program to retrieve employees who joined between given dates. Suppose if I give the date as 01 Jan 2022 and 31st December 2022. So in our company, so many employees are available. You need to retrieve the employees who joined in these between these dates. Anyone from who joined from January 1st to 31st December, how many employees are joined? I want the details of all the employees. This is our third program. JDBC program to retrieve employees who joined between given dates. JDBC program to execute SQL query with in class. I want the people who are working in Hyderabad and Pune location. Okay, so select the star from employees where work location in Pune, Hyderabad. In clause we need to use when we want to supply multiple values to execute the query for the same column, then we will go for in clause. Insert image into database table. Okay, in order to insert the image into database table, first we need to create a table. Create a table user. Create a table user. So in the user table, you can take user underscore ID that has a int data type. Next one, user underscore name you can take as a varchar. Now user image also I want to store. User image. When we are storing, we will take the data type as a blob. Blob stands for binary large object. When we are storing user ID is a number. We will take a int data type. When we are storing the name is a varchar, group of characters. We'll take the data type as a varchar. But when you are storing image nothing but it is a large object. It can be an image, it can be audio, it can be video, it can be PDF. So when you want to insert such kind of data into the database table, we need to take that column data type as a blob data type. Blob stands for binary large object. Understand, guys? JDBC program to execute SQL query with in class. Work location, HYD and Pune. Any employee who is working in Hyderabad or Pune, I want to retrieve. Okay, how to write that query? That query we are going to write like this. Select a star from employees where work location in class HYD, comma Pune, like this. So first one, we need to insert the image into database table. When we want to insert the image into database table, the database table column data type should be blob. The database column data type should be blob. Blob means binary large object. Blob means binary large object. Now, second one is write the JDBC program to execute SQL query with the in clause. That in clause means when we want to supply multiple values for the same column, then we are going to use in clause, that is HYD and Pune. So select star from employees, where work location equal to. If you use equals, only one value we can supply. When you want to supply multiple values for the same column, work location, the people who are working in Hyderabad and Pune, they can be, employee can belongs to Hyderabad location or Pune location. I want to retrieve. Select star from employee where work location in Hyderabad employees and Pune employees I want to retrieve. Only Hyderabad and Pune employees I want to retrieve. Then you will go for in clause. Okay. Select star from employees where work location in Hyderabad and Pune. This will solve your problem. JDBC program to retrieve employees who joined between given dates. So what is the solution for this? The answer is simple. Select star from employees. Select star from employees where joining date between two dates, where joining date between start date and end date. This is first value, this is second value. First positional parameter, second positional parameter. These dates you can take and you can supply as the input for the positional parameter. So like this, you need to execute the query to retrieve the employees who joined between given dates. First positional parameter will represent joining start date, and this will represent end date. Any employees who joined between these two dates, those employees will be retrieved. So the employees who are working in Hyderabad or Pune, they will be retrieved. In order to store the image into database table, that image column data type should be blob. Blob stands for binary large object. Then how to set the blob data for the prepared statement? Set binary stream. Set binary stream. Yes, Amit has done that logic for that. Okay, guys. First question, to insert the image into database table. Already we are inserting the ID, name, salary, gender and all. Na? Similarly, I want to insert the person image into database table. To insert the person image into database table, we will go for a blob data type. To insert the person image into database table, we will go for a blob data type. These are the clues to complete our assignment. To insert image into database, column data type should be blob. To retrieve the records based on multiple work locations, we should go for in clause. If you want to retrieve the employees based on the dates, you need to go for between. Joining date between given value 1 and given value 2. Any employee who joined in between these two dates, they should come as a result. These are the clues to do the assignment. These are the clues to do the assignment. Can you guys do that? Can you guys do that? Yeah, please do that. Please do that. Okay. So please do that. If you are not able to do in the tomorrow's class, I will explain. Guys, tomorrow, as last 2 days, our class has not happened because of my network issue. So I came to Hyderabad. So actually today I thought of coming to offline class, but I got stuck in the traffic because I need to come from Uppal location from in that today cricket match is happening, Uppal Stadium. Because of that traffic jam, we got 2 hours late. It was horrible. So I need to come from Uppal side. So 2 hours we got stuck in the traffic. Otherwise, it should take just 5 minutes to come from Uppal to Secunderabad. But it took 2 hours of time to come from Uppal to Secunderabad because that stadium is on the road. So many people came for the stadium to watch the match today. Because of that, we got stuck in the traffic. That's why I was not able to reach the home on time to come to the offline class. That's why today I have taken the class. How was the match? Main kaha dekha yaar? I was on the road. I did not watch the match. I was coming to my home in that route. I have to come from that side. Yeah. So because of that, I got late and I was not able to reach on time to come to the offline. That's why I have taken the class in the online today. From tomorrow, I will come to the offline. As we got some holidays and last 2 days, so as expected, classes did not happen. So tomorrow I will do one thing. I will take the class from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. or 7 p.m. I will give break 5 minutes in between. So for next couple of days, I will take the class 3 hours daily. I will give some break in between because whatever the classes we have missed, I will compensate those classes by taking extra 1 hour session from tomorrow. So tomorrow offline class will be there for sure. I will come because already I'm in Hyderabad. 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. we will have the advanced Java classes from tomorrow. Okay, so continuously 3 hours, that will be difficult for you also to concentrate. I will give 10 minutes break in between. 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. I will take the class from tomorrow. Is that fine, guys? Yeah, good. Good. All of you understood how to work with the procedures by using callable statement? All of you understood how to work with procedures by using callable statement? Yes, perfect. Okay, so as of now, we understood what is JDBC. We understood what is JDBC. And before that JDBC, we understood what is build, what is class path, what is a class path, how to set a class path, what is a class path, how to set a class path, what is jar, what is jar, we understood. We understood what is the API, what is the JDBC. We understood what is the JDBC. We understood JDBC driver, JDBC connection, JDBC driver, JDBC connection, statement, prepared statement, prepared statement, callable statement, result set types, result set types, scrollable, sensitive, insensitive result set, sensitive, insensitive result set, callable statement. Okay, statement we understood, callable statement we understood, result set we understood, result set types also we understood. So we know what is a class path. Class path is used to locate where the .class files are available. How to set the class path? So you can set the class path in the command prompt, or you can set the class path in the IDE by using build path. Jar file is nothing but collection of .classes, right? So what is API? Application Programming Interface. It will contain set of classes and interfaces. What is a JDBC? JDBC means it is a API to communicate with the database. So for JDBC API, there are several implementations available. Every database vendor provided implementation for JDBC API. Those database vendors provided drivers also. Every database is provided its own driver. Oracle database is having Oracle driver. MySQL database is having MySQL driver. In order to communicate with the database, we need to get the connection with the database. So driver manager.get connection we are using to get the connection with the database. Once we get the connection, we can create the statement, prepared statement, callable statement. Statement, you can execute both non-select and select queries. Select and non-select queries can be executed by using statement. Okay, prepare statement also, select and non-select queries with the positional parameters. With the positional parameters. Callable statement, it is used to execute procedures. It is used to execute procedures in and out params. A procedure can take in parameter and out parameter. Result set, it is used to store the data. A cursor will be available. Using the cursor, we can get the data. So result set types, sensitive result set, insensitive result set, read only, conquer, updatable. There are several types available: read only and conquer, updatable. Like that, there are several result sets available in the JDBC. Okay, guys. So as of now, we understood these concepts from the JDBC, and remaining concepts we are going to continue from tomorrow. Please remember, tomorrow our class is going to start at 4 p.m. Offline and online both will be available tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. or 6:30, we'll see based on your understanding. 4 to 6:30 or 4 to 7, I will take the session from tomorrow, because whatever the holidays we enjoyed, that we need to compensate in the next 1 week. I will take 1 hour extra session from tomorrow. I hope that is okay for everyone. Is that okay for everyone? All right. All right. Good. So now the next tomorrow we are going to understand what is a function in the database, how to call the functions from the Java program. And the next we need to understand what is the batch update, what is the transaction management, what is the connection pooling. So in another 4 or 5 days, mostly by this Sunday, or in another 4 or 5 days, our JDBC will be completed, guys. By this Sunday, our JDBC will be completed. So please practice the 3 assignment programs which I have given. I have given these assignment programs in the WhatsApp group yesterday. Okay, I have given the clue also now how to work on that program. So to retrieve the employees based on the joining date, you need to go for between. To retrieve the employees with multiple work locations, you need to go for in clause. To store the image into database, you need to use a column with the data type as a blob. Okay, so those are the 3 assignment programs. I gave the clues. Please try that. We'll see you in the tomorrow session at 4 o'clock. Okay, thank you guys. I will upload these notes also. Please practice the procedures with the in parameter and out parameter as well. Thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, notes will be uploaded in another 5 minutes. Yeah, class notes uploaded, guys. Please check it in the portal. Thank you.